In a bold move that has sent ripples through the Commonwealth, the Canadian government has officially denied recognizing Prince Harry as a prince upon his request for royal privileges, spotlighting a significant miscalculation in the Sussexes' strategy. Meghan Markle, often seen as the architect behind the couple's public and private maneuvers, has found herself at the center of this controversy, her ambitions clashing with the realities of Canadian sovereignty and public sentiment. The decision by Canadian authorities to reject Prince Harry's claim to princely status and subsequent request for special treatment underscores a broader narrative of Meghan Markle's overreach, her apparent disconnect from the ethos of countries outside the traditional royal framework. This isn't merely about denying an individual his title, it's indicative of a growing fatigue with what many perceive as the couple's attempt to leverage their royal status for personal gain, particularly in Canada, where the monarchy's role is largely ceremonial. Since stepping back from their roles as senior royals and moving to North America, Meghan Markle has been criticized for her approach to using the royal title for what many see as personal branding rather than genuine service. The request for special treatment in Canada has been viewed as an extension of this pattern, with Markle allegedly driving these demands behind the scenes. Critics argue that this move smacks of entitlement, especially given their pledge to become financially independent and step away from royal privileges. The Canadian public and political figures have voiced their discontent, emphasizing that Canada is not a nation where titles hold sway over constitutional rights or public policy. This backlash was evident when Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau stated there would be no special security funding for the couple, a stance reflecting the wider sentiment that Canada should not bear the financial burden of royal privilege. This incident has fueled discussions on whether the Sussexes, particularly Meghan, fully grasp the implications of their actions in a country with a strong Republican sentiment, especially in Quebec, where the monarchy's relevance is often questioned. Moreover, Meghan's role in this scenario has been scrutinized for highlighting a perceived pattern of leveraging the royal connection for personal gain. From their media deals to their public appearances, the narrative has often been that Meghan's influence has steered these decisions, aiming to keep the couple in the public eye, often at the expense of the royal institution's dignity. This incident with Canada further cements the view among critics that Meghan's ambition might not align with the more subdued, service-oriented approach traditionally expected from royal figures. The Canadian media has not shied away from critiquing what they see as Meghan's missteps. Articles and editorials have questioned the wisdom of trying to claim royal privileges in a country where the monarchy's symbolic role does not translate into practical power or rights. This has led to a broader debate about the couple's understanding of their new life outside the UK's royal bubble, where their titles do not automatically confer the privileges they once enjoyed. The controversy has also reignited discussions about the relevance of the British monarchy in modern Canada, with some political leaders and commentators using this as an opportunity to push for a re-evaluation of Canada's ties to the British Crown. This situation has inadvertently made Meghan Markle a focal point in debates about Canadian identity, sovereignty, and the nation's relationship with its colonial past. On social media and in public discourse, the response has been mixed, but predominantly critical. Many Canadians are vocal about not wanting to fund or facilitate what they see as an unnecessary extension of British royalty. This sentiment is particularly strong in light of the couple's previous statements about seeking independence from the monarchy, which now seem contradicted by their actions. Furthermore, the incident has highlighted Meghan's perceived role in shaping the couple's public image. Her strategic use of media, from high-profile interviews to her involvement in various projects, has been analyzed as an attempt to craft a narrative of victimhood or heroism, depending on the context, which many find at odds with the reality of their privileged life. This situation in Canada could serve as a cautionary tale about the limits of royal influence abroad, especially when perceived as encroaching on national sovereignty or public resources. For Meghan, this might be a moment of introspection on how her actions are interpreted not just in the UK but across the Commonwealth. Her influence in their public relations strategy, if not recalibrated, might continue to paint her as an antagonist in the narrative of royal reform rather than a champion of change. In conclusion, the Canadian government's refusal to recognize Prince Harry's request for royal privilege is not just a legal or diplomatic matter but a cultural statement. It reflects a broader critique of Meghan Markle's perceived strategy to use royal status for personal advancement, which many see as out of touch with both the spirit of their new life and the expectations of the countries they now call home. This incident could mark a pivotal moment, urging the Sussexes to navigate their public roles with greater sensitivity to the complex tapestry of Commonwealth sentiments and identities.